Welcome back to the Sentinel's Gen Con tournaments, and Christopher Bedell has had to leave, but he will assuredly be back. I am still Chris Burton, and I have Luther Hendricks with me, the designer of the game.
Hello, Internet.
So he was running the game before, now he is with me in the casting booth, and will be providing sage commentary and incredible wisdom, no doubt.
Much nicer over here.
So we're getting set for the next match, but a quick recap of the last one. We had some incredibly aggressive playing from both the Operative and Baron Blade, and personally I think that standing there, taking those risks, maintaining low health and just powering through despite the urge to run away or the urge to take a dodge or anything like that, I honestly think that's what won them the match.
Yeah, no, really the part that stood out for me was when the Operative took extra damage in order to trigger her ability to give her extra attack dice and just wiped Tachyon off the face of the map.
Yeah.
That really swung the momentum completely in their favor for basically the whole rest.
It's not something that everybody knows, but the ability to basically just say, I am not going to defend, I'm not going to assign any of my dice. There's very few times when it actually comes in handy, but the Operative can make just sterling use of it. And
Right. And knowing those 5% plays that only matter one time in, 20 games is what gets you to the point that you're at here, where you're at a tournament at Gen Con.
Absolutely. So we're going to be getting close to the next match, which is going to be some teams we haven't seen on the casting table. I mean, we've only seen the one game, so we're going to be seeing Citizen Wing, Sweat and Beers, and I believe it's the Quantum Interns.
So I know I'm supposed to be objective, but I already want to root for Team Citizen Wing, Sweat and Beers just for the name. I want to hear people say that as much as possible.
In my head, I have a picture of a group of bro citizens who were exiled from the island for unsanctioned drunkenness. All right.
So we're ready to go to the match. They're doing the coin toss.
So we're going to the
here.
coin toss.
So I'm curious to see why we've had Omni.
Okay, cool. What do you pick?
Legacy.
Okay, Legacy over here.
So why do you think it is that both times the teams have banned Omnitron right
I
off
think
the
it's
bat?
because they know just how easily Omnitron can throw someone into a volcano.
That's true, yeah. He's got the power. He can just push people right in the middle there, and they're just going to have a really bad time.
My guess is we'll see Baron Blade as a counter to Legacy. Oh, so they could pick Baron Blade right now
They
and
can take Baron Blade with Legacy.
Unity over here.
okay.
All right.
They've got a plan. It seems like these guys have plans.
Oh, yeah, they're not even stopping to think. They had this planned out before they sat down, I'm sure.
No.
Absolute zero.
Absolute zero over there.
Wow, this is not a pick we see in tournaments, and I really hope that they can use him to great effect.
Yeah, these are a lot of
And
characters
this is, I think, the first time we've seen the Visionary. No, it's not the first time we've seen the Visionary in the tournaments, but
It's certainly the first time we've seen her on camera today. So.
yes.
Just like don't dive.
Tachyon Visionary Absolute Zero is a extremely powerful combo. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they're going with it.
Right. As long as they can stay alive with the health that they have,
Well,
they're
yes.
going to be pretty fragile. But we'll see how much they focus on it. Visionary buffing teammates and that versus defensive powers to actually stay alive long enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Player is playing which character. Also select your turn orders. How would you give to each other?
Yes.
I think
Beacon.
channel strategy. So, but you can start with me, I guess.
Yeah, so
You can start with the two buttons and
why don't you
go first. Up to you.
All right, so they're getting the
Alrighty.
all the components set up and the turn order tokens passed out.
My guess is that they're going to have Tachyon go absolutely first to try and capitalize, but
Right. Well, you want to give her as many turns as possible. So putting her
Yeah.
first in the turn order means that if you get to the end game, last round, she's going to have.
no, absolutely. Now,
Well, she can pump your buffs too.
what we're seeing here is that we've got a nice set of high high hit point people, and then a nice set of slightly low hit point people. Now,
Right. They're very
Beacon,
polarized
Legacy,
teams.
and Unity, that's a solid team. My hope is that we'll see some reconfiguration shenanigans, because I always love seeing those.
Right. Honestly, I'd like to see Unity use multiple bots. It doesn't. Every once in a while you see it, but reconfiguration is used so commonly that I think it'd be nice to see somebody try something where they try and actually keep their bots alive and use multiple bots in coordination to do something.
If you have a
interesting.
plan for that, then I'm all for it. And it's one of those things where, to me, reconfiguration gives you more flexibility and more ability to adapt to a situation. If you have two bots that you're starting with, you're kind of locked into that, because once you get them far out from you, it's a big sacrifice to lose one and then start over fresh.
Well, if you were going to do it, you'd really have to move Unity up, which obviously is a lot riskier. But if you've got Legacy on your team, maybe Legacy is going to be trying to protect Unity and
Maybe
get
you go
Unity
for an
more
intervention.
centralized.
Maybe you go for full defense Legacy.
Maybe.
I could go for that.
We
I
shall
could see
see.
that.
He's going to be fielding the attack box.
Oh, what I would love to see is Mr. Chomps come out and just go nuts biting people.
Right.
And with Legacy providing attack tokens, that could be quite quite powerful.
especially, again, there's another reason that Legacy would synergize with her having multiple bots. You can give out even more tokens. So
Champion bot, Mr. Chomps, and then Legacy providing ridiculousness.
yes.
Well, okay.
But we'll see what the actual teams decide to do. So they're here for a reason.
Now, they're starting to pick their powers, and we're going to go and what I would like to see is see what maybe what they're doing.
All right, what do we got?
Now, it looks like we're going with Champion Bot and Swift Bot for Unity. That is
Interesting.
excellent.
That's a
that's
little
an excellent choice.
That's close to what we were talking about, but Swiftbot is she's probably better early on when you have to get to the fight. And as Legacy as Unity moves up, if Swiftbot gets incapacitated, maybe he could put down Mr. Chomps or one of the
Legacy's
other bots.
going with a very traditional Legacy first turn with Galvanize and Inspiring Presence to really maximize everyone's tokens.
Right.
Now, with Champion Bot and Swift Bot, it would be very cool to see Swift Bot run out, Champion Bot run out a little bit behind to back it up, and then a reconfigure once Champion Bot is in range.
That's a lot of dice.
To do some very cool things. We're going with Synaptic Interruption with Tachyon. So we're going to see Synaptic Interruption used again. We haven't been seeing a lot of the pushing the limits first turn, go nuts with taking your own health down.
Right. Well,
And
we
the
saw
Synaptic Interruption, it's a solid card when you have a plan for it.
Well, last game we saw Tachyon was focused down 2 of the 3 knockouts that they got, even with Synaptic Interruption. So
Right.
it helps her defensively, but it's hard. It's not going to keep her alive by itself.
Now, the Visionary, we've got Decoy Projection and Demoralize. The Decoy Projection, that's a wonderful trap for her where you can sucker someone into hitting your Decoy Projection and then swap places. Demoralize, that's one I don't see all that often, so we're going to find out a little bit more about it right now.
Yeah, that's the one that lets her give negative tokens to the other team, if I remember correctly.
Which is an excellent card to start with. But it requires line of sight, so they're going to have to do a little bit more position work.
And she could be switching that, planning to switch that out on her first turn too, and picking that to disguise what her actual plan is, because she's going fairly late in the turn order.
Now, Absolute Zero has those impaling structures, which are just a fantastic initial thing, because those don't require line of sight. And he's starting with a fueled freeze.
Right, which lets him place additional little impaling structures.
Right. So what I'm hoping we're going to see is we're going to see an impaling structure bonanza, and I even though it's kind of risky, I always love seeing Absolute Zero make everyone else immune to hazard tokens, just so they can go stand in the volcano.
Right.
Just because.
That's a really dangerous basket to put all your eggs in, though, because if Absolute Zero gets incapacitated or even just knocked back enough, now you're suddenly standing in lava that's a lot hotter than you thought it was going to be.
So we are ready to go, and they are starting the game, and thus the clock starts.
All right, so Legacy's taking his first turn. He's got 6 movement, and he's got mobility, so he can end up pretty much wherever he wants at this point.
They've got Champion Bot and Swift Bot out for Unity. So
My guess is, honestly, I'd go for the Forest and get in position for a Flying Smash.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, galvanize everyone first, but
Right. Because he's got galvanized and he's got...
My first action Is galvanized on Speedbot?
Swiftbot, yes.
Swiftbot?
Oh, wow. So she's galvanizing Swiftbot specifically to give Swiftbot 2 additional +1 attack tokens.
That is a good first act for Legacy, especially if you really want to go for. You know, honestly, at this point, I would switch to a reconfigure and run Swiftbot in.
Does reconfigure let you use the plus attack tokens? Can you bring up Unity's panel real quick?
I'm fairly certain that the bots make that attack before they're in
Well,
capped.
does the bot make the attack, or does Unity make the attack? That's what I can't
This has
remember.
come up in a previous tournament, and I'm pretty sure that it's the bot making the attack. But let's make absolutely sure.
Sure.
And
I just wrote.
Good.
All right, so yeah, that bot first makes this attack, so they can use those plus attack tokens before they're incapacitated, and obviously they'd have no reason not to. So Legacy's moved up, but he didn't move into the forest. He actually moved onto the rim of the volcano.
that's we don't have anybody on the other team with knockback, so that's not.
No, it's
the
certainly not
worst
as big of a
place
deal
for
as
him.
it could be.
Can we see
Now, if Beacon was on the other side, that would be a lot more risky.
Right. And it does let him get line of sight more easily going forward than going into the middle of the forest, where the cover hexes on either side would be blocking a lot of the directions out.
True enough. Now, I mean, honestly, though, if I was Legacy, I'd just switch out to a Flying Smash, galvanize himself, and then
You can be a team player.
I mean,
it is
you can.
possible to help your
theoretically,
team and
I
not
suppose.
just yourself. It's an option.
I'm
is what
okay with
saying.
helping other people.
When you have nothing better to do, I understand.
I just think that helping your team involves knocking people down as fast as possible.
But it's a team game. You have to work together. Legacy can't just go out there and smack people around and get all the kills, the incapacitations himself.
See, now that's the kind of mindset that makes me sad because, yes, of course Legacy can do that. It's just insanely risky.
Right, okay. So again, you want to... Oh, wow. Okay, so let's actually talk about the game.
Yes, let's find out what's going on.
So Absolute Zero's moved up into the forest and made a nice little trail around the forest of impaling structures.
And he's gone with Sub-Zero Atmosphere for his third card.
Okay. So that'll let his Sub-Zero Atmosphere lets his team ignore hazard spaces?
Let's make double
I wish
sure
I
of
could
that.
remember. I feel so bad because I know what all the cards do and I can never remember the names.
And yes, they don't trigger hazard spaces within radius 1 of Absolute Zero.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
So we got Swiftbot is ran up into the middle of the forest here.
And Sprint Punch.
Okay, sounds
Yep.
good.
She's going to use her attack.
All right, great.
Yes.
Cool.
So go bots to move, go bots to aim, go bots to punch.
Oh, wow. And then he's got those 2+ attack tokens that I'm sure he's going to use, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, then you can spend the tokens later. This is an aim, and you miss on 2, so there's no 2s in there. So those are all 5s right now.
Roll them all.
That's
Roll
pretty
those
solid.
things. If you get lucky, you could knock Absolute Zero out of the fight right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you spend them here. You're not going to get a better chance to use them.
So this 2 comes out, the other ones are 5s. Oh my god. So you got 5 5s coming at you.
You need to roll at least 1 5 to stay in the fight. And we get a
Rolled
6.
so he's got 1 health.
But this puts Absolute Zero in an interesting position because if he survives long enough, he can get that coolant blast off for massive damage.
Yeah, he has got to go all the way around the table, though, because he just took his turn. So
I'm not denying that that's the case. Yeah. And, I mean, you're absolutely right. I like to be optimistic about things.
Right. No, and we're balancing each other out here. I doubt that they're going to let Absolute Zero sit there on 1 health.
They
Legacy
really
and
shouldn't.
Beacon
They
are-
absolutely shouldn't.
There's absolutely 0 chance that that's the correct decision.
Boy, you and Christopher with the puns.
He's not here. I have to be him.
I see.
I grew my hair. I grew a beard. I'm doing everything I can. So we got Visionary up now.
Now, one of the things that no one really does with the Visionary is if you load her up with attack tokens and then send her out as a bomb, you can dare them to them to take you out.
You
and
can
then,
essentially just stand in the middle of them, and they have generally no recourse other than trying to hit you from far enough away that they're not going to get nuked.
Just like Maelstrom.
All right, thank you, Gus.
It's here and here.
Yeah.
All right, and that attack does not need line of sight.
What is
so
the radius on it?
6.
Okay, good. And it does
Origin 0.
Right, and it does not need line of sight.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're going with a very nasty attack here.
You have to calculate range from the origin.
Right. So
Now, I want to make sure, because my mind is failing because I don't see Visionary all that often, but Psychic Maelstrom, is that a one-shot or is that a
Right.
is it a normal
Let's just
card?
bring up the card on the, the page here.
Or 5 spaces.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Visionaries.
Yeah.
Down at the
So
bottom.
you can't. None of the dice will actually make range
to
on
scroll down.
Legacy.
Okay, sure. Yep.
But you will totally hit at range 2. Swift.
All right, we're having trouble bringing up the card, so
1, 2, 3.
It's got to be in there.
Those are both auto misses.
Those are both auto misses. That's a 4 though. So there's a
and there we go. Does not require line of sight. Not a one-shot. You can just keep it out forever.
roll.
Right, but it's only 3 dice, it's only 4, 5s, and 6s that hit, so it's not going to do tons of damage at any given point.
Right.
Does defend it.
But if she can get somewhere, that she's protected by,
All right, sounds great.
that she's protected by her teammates, that she's in a little bunker behind Absolute Zero,
Turn 5. Beacon.
she can wear them
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. It's definitely it's a situational card, but in this case, the situation is just sort of ideal for those sort of big
Right.
blasts.
Now, unfortunately, the rolls meant that she didn't actually end up dealing any damage with it.
but she could have.
Right, you put yourself into the position to do the best you can, and then you see what the fates have in store for you at that
Absolutely.
point. And then you figure out how to react to that on your next turn.
And speaking of which, it's now time for Beacon, and she's got a bolstering team up in Fortitude, so my hope is that she will.
I wonder if she's going to.
I would play this attack and then.
So we've already seen that Legacy's giving out a lot of tokens. And with bolstering team up, she can let Legacy give out even more tokens than he normally can on his own.
Killing the bot is really a big tempo boss, right? No, I agree that you should not leave yourself there.
It's temporary, but it's kind of in my turn.
Now, what I'm not certain that the bolstering team up is really the ideal situation.
Yeah, I don't think it does a lot this turn, but
It costs us tempo, is what I'm saying.
Right. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Movement with mobility, 2 here.
yeah, no, Beacon's just flying straight up to Swiftbot there.
That's not what I would go with. Not really certain what the plan is. Although, could you do bolstering team up on
Yeah, you can bolstering
Swiftbot?
team up Swiftbot. Swiftbot is an ally. It belongs to Unity, who's one of her allies.
I don't think I've ever thought of using it that way.
Right, and then you only risk you're not risking a squishy high attack character in the front line to get that
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
action.
and-
You're just risking a bot. And what is
Yeah.
a bot?
Yeah. Do that.
All right, so you're going to bolster and team up the Swiftbot.
Yep.
All right, what are you doing? Who's going first?
Swiftbot will
Okay,
go first.
Swiftbot. What are you going to do, Swiftbot?
Oh,
Right, but I mean,
I would go to here actually, so you don't have a range issue with it.
So
Do you mind?
they're talking about moving Swiftbot through Absolute Zero, but I don't know if she has enough
2,
movement.
like that.
Yeah.
And then I go ahead and
Oh
attack.
no, just move through Absolute Zero. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3.
You don't, sometimes you're looking around to the left and you're looking around to the right and you don't see the obvious path in front of you.
Great.
All right, so let's see how well Swiftbot is rolling right now.
Attack absolute 0, and you auto miss your 2.
Wow.
Apparently, Swiftbot is rolling really well. So Absolute Zero is going to be needing a 6 to survive.
Other in there.
we need,
Yeah,
two,
pull
we
those.
need 2 6s.
Pull those guys out.
All right, is that all?
So
Now, this is where I would have perhaps gone with a
That incapacitates and
maybe a Foresight or maybe maybe even a Twist the Ether with the Visionary, just so you could force rerolls and
right, to
try and
make it a little
manipulate
harder
things.
for them to at least
Yeah.
put more effort into it. Because as it is, they didn't have to do anything special to take Absolute Zero out.
Yeah,
So
and
they-
and I've always found that the Visionary works. She works well, surprisingly well as an attacker, but she works so well behind the scenes, manipulating things,
Oh,
making
sure,
sure
sure.
everybody has to work just that little bit more to get those kills, whereas your team has to work a little bit less hard to get those kills.
Visionary or
Right, and and it's not like they don't have characters that can deal damage other than the Visionary. She doesn't have to fill that role.
Absolutely.
I have piercing eye beams, so I ignore piercing.
And so
Now,
the
I'm not certain where Beacon is getting a third attack
from
from.
bolstering team up, it lets her
Because
and the
it lets
ally
her
take an
also do a
action.
thing. Yes, okay.
Yes. So this is her action from bolstering
Stay
team
in
up.
my line of sight.
Absolutely.
Don't get off of that.
So yeah, 6s would make range, but that's it.
You know what? I'm gonna sprint back, so I'm also within Champion Bot's range.
All right,
Here
sounds
too.
good.
Okay, I don't
Setting up for another round, I guess.
Great. And then reroll movement.
Yep.
All right, so that's one in cap for the Quantum Interns. They've done a good job
And they've taken no
capitalizing.
damage from
And they've
Team
taken no
Discovery.
damage.
No, Champion Bot does not attack.
I think they're in a really good spot right now.
What I would do is move Tachyon down. Tachyon currently has only 4 movement, though, so that's not ideal. I think that they need to do a risky play. They need to.
Right, if they're playing safe here is not going to catch them up.
Yeah,
So-
but we've got to push the limits. So that's an excellent one.
And she
And
does
the world
have,
stands still.
+1
So
move and mobility from the world stand still, so she's
Now-
going to get getting somewhere today.
I really hope that she sprints straight down, or she moves straight down, goes after Legacy, pushes the limits, and then does, light speed barrages and sucker punches. Well, light speed barrages.
Well, would you go after Legacy or would you go after Unity? I mean,
That's going to depend on if Unity gets knocked out right now.
right.
I mean, if Unity is at super low health, then absolutely sucker punch. But
Right, because I think if you're looking to score a point, Unity is a lot easier target than Legacy, obviously.
Yes.
But and it would also take Swiftbot off their side of the map, which would help Visionary with where she's at currently.
yeah, and since the bots are simply removed when Unity goes down, there wouldn't be any explosions to worry about.
Right. So, not the best sprint punch from
No.
You black it. All right.
Tachyon, but she's going to get another turn here from Push Limits. So.
All
Yeah.
right. So now at the end of your turn, you reroll movement.
Okay.
Now, depending on what this movement reroll is, could depend on whether this is a Lightspeed Barrage or I see a 6.
There's a 6. So
I would
she's
swap
definitely
out
got
pushing the
options.
limits for Lightspeed Barrage and just see if you could punch the hell out of Unity in that initial blast.
Yeah. Now she already spent 1 health on Push the Limits, so she's going to be going real low to
Honestly,
make this work.
what I would do is Lightspeed Barrage, Unity, then sprint over to Legacy, Lightspeed Barrage Legacy. Just see if you could get everything.
I think you really want to try, if Unity doesn't go down to the first hit, I think you want to use the second hit on Unity.
Well, we're going with Unrelenting Momentum insteed of Lightspeed Barrage, so it's
okay. Well, she'll
it's a
get
moot
more
point,
attacks out of it, but
I
yeah.
will sprint over here and attack Unity.
Using aim.
And this does give her some more survivability because she's going to
Yes.
have 3 health instead of 1. So
And we're making this an aimed attack, so even with 3 dice, that could be nasty, but
She has 4 health.
I'm not certain that aim is the best.
yeah, I think
The
in
best
the position
use.
that they're in, they would be better served by attacking twice and hoping that they do well rather than doing one more consistent aimed attack.
Yeah. Now, 3/5s coming at Unity, I mean, that's a solid.
Sure, that's. Oh, it was not aimed. Okay. So
And this is why overwhelming with dice can be such a staggeringly powerful thing, though, because with someone as a defensive 3 and you're rolling 7 dice,
oh yeah.
I mean, they're probably going down.
Right, especially when you have such a consistent attack, because the onty auto miss on her nimble strike is 2.
Is a 2,
so
right.
when you're rolling 6 dice, you're probably getting 5 of them through.
Yeah.
That's significantly better.
That's okay, but Unity's been rolling well. I mean, obviously that can stop at any moment, but
All right, there's 2 hits because that attack was aimed.
All right. That was it.
and then we're going to get our free attack thanks to.
I sprinted twice, and so I will spend my last action.
And here we
Sprint
go.
again and get her free nimble strike.
And attack. Good.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And then attack again, I presume.
Yes.
So if she rolls as well this time as she did last time, they'll be tying the score up here.
But then this is the perilous bit for Tachyon, because if she does not get an in cap here, she is overextended herself. She is down she's only down 1 hit point, but still that puts her in a very bad place for
Yeah, and with the way
Legacy to just come up and punch her.
Yeah, and with the way the characters are positioned, they can focus on her without feeling like that they're ignoring the other team very much.
Yeah, and
So Unity is down to 1 health. So if Tachyon survives, she can guarantee a kill with sucker punch and get out of there.
honestly,
Or even if she doesn't survive.
I would for Legacy, I would switch out Galvanize for a Flying Smash and just Flying Smash Tachyon, aim and then Flying Smash.
Because she gets to crack back with Champion Ball.
Well, let's see what he.
Yeah, let's see what he does.
Yeah, but Champion Ball will help everyone else beat you into a thin.
Well, right. Champion Ball will help Legacy destroy me, but it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was a good idea.
I would
I
Switch out Inspiring Presence for Flying Smash. Galvanize
Galvanizers.
Beacon with my first action,
Okay.
and then Flying Smash Tachyon with the second one.
So you're galvanizing Beacon as opposed to yourself to
Well, the
guarantee
reason
to kill
is because
Tachyon?
Champion Bot is going to be giving, if you Flying
you get the
Smash,
extra
Champion
dice
Bot would be
anyways,
giving
yeah.
getting extra dice.
That's true. With Champion Bot there, that makes a lot more sense. Because even without any boosts at all, even if you just did Thok, it'd be 5 dice. And
Yeah.
Flying Smash, you're looking at 7 dice without worrying about any tokens or anything.
And obviously, there's auto misses, but
Well, right, but again, it's only on 2, so
yeah.
that seems going to be really difficult for Tachyon to survive, even with the 3 health she has left because she didn't spend
No,
any
Flying
on her.
Smash misses on 6s as well. I
Oh, yes,
believe.
you're right. I'm sorry. Flying Smash is 1 and 6. Talk
Yeah.
Switching motivational charge in place of galvanize.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Oh, so she's going to look to try and heal up Unity while she beats up Tachyon.
It's not the worst play, especially since that doesn't require like line of sight or anything. But
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that I have extremely bad dice rolling luck, but I like rolling just as many dice as possible.
Well, this isn't unreasonable from their position. They're ahead. So playing conservatively is stronger when you're ahead than when you're behind. You don't need to take risks to try and close out the game.
I understand that logic. It's not logic I like. Like
Okay.
I don't like letting up even for an instant because it lets other people recover.
Sure, sure. And you don't want Tachyon to survive until Tachyon's next turn. But even if Legacy doesn't finish her off, Beacon can finish her off.
Yeah.
And the teammates for Tachyon are on the other side of the map. They're not
Yeah.
going to do a lot in
I
retaliation.
mean, we'll see. We'll see. It's
Sure.
it certainly could work in Legacy's favor.
And when you
And it is a 5-die motivational charge because
Yeah.
of Champion Bot. So.
So it's
ones and twos.
Ones and twos. Okay.
let's see it work.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
Wow.
do I want to?
Yeah.
So that's at least 1 point of damage on Tachyon because she doesn't have any plus defense plus tokens.
That is right.
Attack plus 1.
And she's using 2 attack plus 1 tokens.
Wow.
So that is a guaranteed knockout on Tachyon. The question is just what
Just
the
how
degree of
far
success is
Tachyon's
gonna
going to
be.
go flying.
Yep. So she blocks 2 of the dice.
That'll block 3 things, won't it? No, there's no 3s. So you block 2 things.
So
So
that's
4 damage is
4
more than
damage.
enough.
That's an overkill of 1.
Yep, so you get pushed 1. You guys get another point.
I always favor pushing towards the volcano. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think it makes a lot of difference here where you push her because she's going to move so quickly once she gets back up. I might push her away towards the edge of the map just to make it harder for her to get out of the mess that she's in. But she's going towards the volcano, so.
From the motivational charge.
Yeah, because of motivational charge. All right, and those were your 2 actions.
Yes.
Your
right.
movement.
Well done, Legacy. And also Unity regains a hit point thanks to that motivational charge.
Right. We haven't got that reflected on the stream yet, but I'm sure that'll be updated shortly.
Cool. And now it is 2.
Absolute 0. Wake up.
Stand up.
We need to like skirmish, I think.
Okay, if you get all of them down to 1 hit point, I can
And then
sucker
you may
punch
play a
them all.
power.
Yeah, so reroll your.
Now we've got Absolute Zero back up to full health.
So
Now,
we need
this is just the worst place for Absolute Zero to be. The fight is far away from him, and he only gets 1 card, and he's at full health, so he can't even do his high power attacks.
Right. So
well, because
he's going to do the best he can to try and contribute to this fight, but Tachyon either needs to do something amazing when she stands back up, or
Well,
honestly get out of there and stop getting
well,
farmed for points.
What I want to know is what his movement is, because if his
that makes a
movement is
big
high
difference,
enough, I might go with Sub-Zero Atmosphere and just walk across the lava to try and get close to Beacon.
Right?
health on things.
Let's see. Well, he's looking at using.
I mean,
Thermal
there's other
Shockwave
better
potentially.
pathways, but still.
And if his movement's high enough, Thermal Shockwave, he can get to the middle. He can hit.
He can hit both Legacy and Beacon.
Champion Bot and Beacon and Unity if he has a. Oh, he'd need a lot to get that last.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them can hit you.
If
But if you could take out Champion Bot, that explosion could potentially kill Unity,
that's true. 4
and
movement.
then put some wounds on Legacy and Beacon.
4 movement would get him to where he could hit everybody but Unity. So.
Yeah.
I mean, worry about
But he only has 3 movement.
Oh, well, that
Which
stymies
is-
that plan.
yes, it
which
does.
is why he's put the card back in his hand and is looking for something else, I'm sure.
An aimed cold snap right now, not the worst plan.
Now you've got to put some damage out there at some point. They're falling further behind here. They
No,
still have
I
only
totally
done a
agree.
couple
I
points
just
of damage.
with only 2 actions, Absolute Zero has to make sure that
Right. No,
that things happen.
I agree. He's got to go for broke here because they're almost broke as it is.
Yeah. Now, the thermal shockwave, it costs a wound and rolls 5 dice. So
it's usually not worth it unless you are hitting multiple targets or you're using the fact that it doesn't cost an action to let you get an extra attack in a turn. Because it does cost a health, but it doesn't cost an action to use.
Right. And what might be worth it, though, is playing the thermal shockwave and then
Just aiming cold snap this turn and planning on using it next turn.
Yeah. But that's not what we're going with.
Nope. He played approaching 0.
Point of damage dealt. Yeah,
So slowing people down.
Right. And that's not an awful idea. It does
No, not at all.
If he's planning on aiming and cold snapping, it does more than anything else does this turn because it's an ongoing ability, and it'll give him some extra bonus to that cold snap attack.
So first we're doing a cold snap, no aim.
Beacon. And
My
you
guess
have
is the
range.
second attack, the second action, then is either going to be a move or a dodge.
Yeah, those are the only 2 things that make sense after that.
3's miss.
Yep. So even unaimed, that's a pretty solid attack.
654.
Well, we'll have to see how Beacon can handle it.
Oh,
And the answer is less than well, but
Right.
that's still going to put 2 points of damage through, and
that's a third of a point there.
well, it's also 2 movement down.
That's true too. That's a good point. So she,
You've got one more action.
what was?
You can sprint off of this, but
Oh, I can spend sauce, but I think
Yeah, and then she's gonna absolutely just gonna sprint so he can get down that alley.
So, well, the thing is, Beacon's got piercing eye beams, so like a sprint and then piercing eye beams will.
Oh sure,
We'll
but,
get her there.
But he's at least put some more distance between him and her,
Nope,
so that
absolutely.
he's got a little more chance of dealing with it. All right, so Champion Bot's left the table, and then we've got reconfiguration for switching SwiftBot out for something else.
Well, that's kind of perfect because what all that SwiftBot needs to do is get in a position to reconfigure into TurretBot while blowing up both Visionary and Absolute Zero. And if you look at the map, there's
That's
a perfect
almost
place for
exactly
it.
where they're already standing, and
Yeah.
and he gets an attack right here just for moving those 3 spaces.
Oh yeah, here you go. Sorry, I'm stealing from it.
And this is
All right,
Well, not the best way to start off the turn.
no, that could have been a lot worse.
All right. Your first action.
But you got into position to use reconfiguration, which was the actual purpose of it. The
Yes.
extra damage was just going to be a bonus.
So that's going to vanish.
And blow up.
Raptor Bot is going to come out.
Ah,
Oh,
we got Mr. Chumps. That's what
I'm
you were
okay
asking
with
for.
this.
I think it's really. I like how it worked out. It wasn't great, really. I think the issue was that Tachyon ran into Champion Bot's radius, and that let her go down so quickly.
Yeah.
And so
But, you know, with what I like here is we're going with an attack, into an attack, into an attack.
right, roll as many dice as possible. They
Absolutely.
They could theoretically close it out this turn.
Vanishes, so you can't use yours. If the bot had any.
Yep.
Yep.
So just what we were discussing earlier, Paul was letting him know that the attack is made by the bot when you use reconfiguration. So the
Yes.
tokens on the bot are what you
No
use.
whammies.
So,
No whammies.
bot bombs are extremely dangerous.
Yeah, we blocked.
To your opponents and to your teammates.
Occasionally, yes.
Origin 0 radius 1. Yes, so that is against both of you.
Right.
Right. Can I decoy projection here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the
So the Visionary is going to be blinking out and replacing it.
We still
Right. She's had that
resolved
decoy
Yeah,
sitting there from the
exactly.
beginning.
Five
So
if you want.
the decoy will take the attack instead, and they'll switch.
And you got it.
Yep, and you blocked it totally, so
Oh,
then you cover
and the decoy didn't even take any damage. So
And that. And
Ah, the decoy projector. This is one of the reasons I love the Visionary is because she can just screw with the opposing team so much.
and the decoy also means that Raptorbot's attack can't hit Visionary. The only thing that can attack this turn would be Absolute Zero, which has
Yeah.
got a little bit more health.
It's also that there's some surprising applications with hazard spaces and things you can do with the decoy projection to just sort of like rapidly switch areas that are very underutilized.
Oh, yeah. It looks like one of her simpler powers, but it ends up having a lot of corner cases where you can use it in ways that, not that it wasn't intended to, but aren't specifically just to make yourself more defensive.
Yes. All right, Mr. Chomps, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah.
Hopefully some chomping.
Generally chomping. Yes.
2 points of damage on Absolute Zero.
Now that's good. That's always good, but that's making a coolant blast look more and more appealing.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's another reason that he may have put the power down last turn where he can spend health to do an area attack, because then he could use it and Coolant Blast this turn.
Yeah.
But since he put down approaching 0, he doesn't have that option, only able to play 1 power card per turn. But it's not nearly his turn yet. It's the Visionary's turn right now.
Yeah, and we'll see what she has in store. Now, the Visionary currently still has the Decoy Projection on the Psychic Maelstrom and has not switched anything out at the moment.
Can we
So
put the Decoy Projection on the screen here?
absolutely.
Let's take a look, because that has got
actually not terrible.
more words on it than a lot of cards do.
I don't know. Like, Legacy is
So the way it works, obviously, and the interesting the thing that makes it different from Heroic Interception, for example, for Legacy, is she can use this any number of times in a turn. If you attack her 3 times, she can swap places with that decoy 3 times, as long as the decoy survives each of the attacks.
Right. And it only has 3 health and it only has 3 defense, but
That's almost a whole Visionary worth of health and defense. So
the thing is, though, it can't take any dodge actions or anything, so
that's
one
true.
overwhelming hit will be the end of it.
And using it
But
fills
that's
up one of your power slots, and that takes away half your utility to your team
Right.
to keep yourself alive. So, but at the point that they're at, they can't afford another hero to go down.
Literally, yes.
1s, 2s, and 3s.
I mean, that's still fairly dire in terms of.
That's it's like moderately to severely.
They're debating amongst themselves, but honestly, they need to start putting some damage. They
Right.
need to take someone out, because time for setup, the time for retreating is absolutely over.
Right. They know that they're in a bind here, so they're trying to work themselves out of it.
And they still could. They absolutely still
Right.
could.
They they have to figure out an avenue where they can possibly come back and just
Yeah.
put everything into that avenue. You can't hedge any bets anymore.
Absolutely.
Why are they not?
So Legacy has a hex that is higher than him between me and him.
Right. So they don't have line of sight to each other because of the volcano hexes that are obviously much higher than Legacy is.
So we're going back to Decoy Projection and Demoralize, and see, I actually think that's a bit of a...
Yeah, I think that's only going to it's going to slow down the bleeding, but it's not going to actually stop it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yep, sorry about that. Thank you.
So we'll just have to see what the Divisionary has in mind. And
Right. It looked really interesting when they were picking their team, because they seemed very confident in their picks to see what their strategy was going to be. But
honestly, I would have gone with... I would have gone with Twist the Ether or Foresight, because at this point, that's what's going to save their team, is those crucial little moments
sure.
of, no, that's not a 4, that's a 6 now.
Right, especially when you can...
I don't like what you did. You're going to have to re-roll that.
Right. Especially the one that lets you swap a die off it into the attack or into the whatever the roll is.
Yeah.
Because that's actually really good with Tachyon making multiple attacks per turn.
Absolutely.
Is on the big attack, you can make some attacks big and get a little die, and you could put the little die in the attacks that weren't going to hit anything good anyways. Because
the card you're talking about specifically is Twist the Ether.
Is that Twist the... Okay. But yeah, because you would much rather have one amazing attack and one complete whiff than 2 middling attacks, because those are mostly going to get blocked. You want to get that one big hit in.
So Twist the Ether is when a character within radius 2 of the Visionary make an attack, you can re-roll one of the dice.
Right. That's a good one too. That wasn't. I think the one I'm thinking.
I think we're talking about
Foresight.
Foresight, which that's just us being silly people.
Right. Yeah, there we go. Foresight.
There we go.
That lets her. Oh, Foresight is once per turn. But
that's the thing, is the Visionary isn't about those. It isn't about doing something always. The Visionary is about those crucial little moments, making that count just to the maximum amount possible.
Right, where one little bump up or down can make a huge difference.
Exactly.
And Tachyon can take extra turns, so she can do it twice. But all right, so did the Visionary switch to mass levitation to get mobility to get to where she wanted to go? That's what it looks like happened.
It looks like that happened, and that's going to give everyone else mobility as well. With Absolute Zero, that's... But Absolute Zero only has 2 movements. Tachyon... When Tachyon gets up, we'll have to see.
What her movement is, yeah. Because she may want mobility to get out of the middle of everyone where she's at. But
with Tachyon, if Tachyon's movement is high enough on Tachyon's turn, I would consider Lightspeed Barrage and just hit. Even without pushing the limits, just trying to stomp somebody down and get that.
Right, score.
Admittedly,
put some points on the board.
Admittedly, that will put Tachyon very close to death. So
right, but the
depends
Team
on the
Discovery
movement.
channel is pretty close to death as it is, even without.
That's
Tachyon
very
taking
true.
a picture.
That's very true.
So this is really just hitting legacy.
My fear is that when Tachyon gets up, we're going to be doing something like a synaptic interruption or something. But I mean, we've got a psychic maelstrom coming out right now. The
Right.
Visionary is attacking. This is great.
She's putting damage on the board, and she did roll pretty well.
And Legacy blocks everything.
No, he takes one of them. The second 4 gets through.
Ah, it was a 644 as opposed to a 641. Okay.
Right. And then
Curse my human eyeballs.
Beacon was in range of the 6, I believe.
I appreciate the mobility.
Oh, all right, yeah.
So we're putting some damage out. This is a good thing. This is an excellent thing.
Now, I would not be surprised when Legacy's turns come up, assuming the game isn't over by that point. Based on the way that they played Legacy earlier, I'd bet he's going to motivational charge again. Because if you're going to do it, you're going to be healing the whole team.
Right now, it's Beacon's turn, and we've only got 2 movement on Beacon, so getting into position is going to be tricky.
It has an
Right.
ability that says, when I'm standing next to someone, give them an action and then give me another action. Right, so it's just... Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, Beacon doesn't have any really good choices here.
Well, she could take Piercing Eye Beams, move north 2 spaces, and attack Absolute Zero from range 3, which isn't great because her base attack misses on 3s and 4s, and 1s and 2s wouldn't make range. But 5s and 6s are
Well, it doesn't
where I
require line of sight, but it would still have to deal with elevation changes, and
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's
So
even
that'd be
worse. Don't even listen.
not
to me.
a
That would
not
be
a very
awful.
good attack at all. I honestly, what I would think about doing is have Beacon bolstering team up Legacy to, because Legacy does have quite a lot of movement right now, and
Let him use that move.
or I'm sorry, no,
action.
Legacy has exactly 1 movement, so Legacy does not have
It's
ideal
quite a
movement.
small lot of movement.
Yes. There's really no good choices here.
Guarantee.
Well, she's got action. She's going to do something with them.
That's very true.
At the very least, she could move over and bolstering team up with Legacy and have him use.
Have the guarantee, but
Or you could switch out to Piercing Eye Beams and go after the Visionary. Again,
That's
the
true.
range is not ideal, but you don't need line of sight, so
Right. Well, the best
back
range
with
she
it.
could get would be 1, 2,
Melee
4, 5. The best range she could get would be 6. So she could hit on 6s, but it's better than passing a turn, certainly.
Yeah.
So move 2.
And this is one of those cases where Absolute Zero
And now
really kind of
bolstering
paid for himself by slowing everyone down. So that
Oh, see what she's done? She's bolstering team up Unity, so Unity can use Go Bots to have Raptor Bot attack.
now that is a solid
I would
plan.
not have even seen that play. So this is why they are playing the game, and I'm sitting here amazed at their decision.
Yes, it's all. See, I love being surprised, and I love when people can pull off something, even though as we're knowledgeably saying, "Oh, they should do this,"
Yeah,
or "Oh, they,"
clearly these are
and
the
they go,
only
"No,
options.
no, I
It's
got
either-
this. This is exactly what needs to happen," and then they do it, and it's awesome.
Right, and I'm sitting here saying, "Oh, they could do A," and you're saying they could do B, and then they pull C out of their hat.
And because they're doing something that surprised me, and because they're doing something that I think could be really cool, I want to see this. I want to see this work. I want to see this happen.
Right, well, we have to be objective. We have to.
I
have to root
objectively want to see this happen.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to see, and it's the best target too because Absolute Zero's already did damage twice. So
Yeah.
this could be it right here.
You're going to attack. You miss on 2s here. This is coming against Absolute Zero. This is Raptor Bot fighting against it. Yep. Hey! There's 2 2s. So it is 6-3-1.
So we'll see. Absolute Zero
Line of sight.
probably going to come out of this only a little bit dinged up.
Right. Yeah. The most he can take is 2 damage.
Yeah. So 1 damage.
He takes 1.
There you go.
But that's like inching closer to the last point there.
And again, positioning is just so crucial here because Absolute Zero is so far away from the fight.
Right.
And
With his movement last turn where he just sprinted away, it only put him next to Raptor Bot.
Absolute Zero only has 2 movement right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5 or 6 are good. Yep, absolutely.
So we're going with a zap. So a 5 or 6 will hit.
Four dice.
And we do have piercing eye beams, so you don't require a line of sight. So that cover is not going to be helping at all.
Otherwise, she couldn't even make the attack.
I have a couple of attacks.
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
And she does have the attack tokens, and she has to use them because of Brash.
Well, we have 1s and 2s, so regardless of anything, that's still not going to work.
Right. Now,
Would you spend the attack tokens or save them?
because she's Brash, she has to spend the 2 attack tokens, right? Yeah.
She has to spend them if she spends them. If she spends them, she has to spend all of them.
Is that
But she doesn't have to.
No. If she
Oh,
attacks,
it's
she
if you
has to
have
spend
them, you
Yes.
spend them.
Anytime she attacks and she could legally spend them, she must.
Well, okay then.
And there they go.
But still,
It was not
It
the
wa-
best
it was-
decision, but there was no decision. The character.
you know,
is
I
Brash.
honestly say it was absolutely worth it
Oh,
because
sure. You roll the dice. And
you
see it.
got to go for it. You got to go for that attack if you can.
Right. Well, they don't want to let the momentum slip and have the
Exactly.
Team Discovery Channel
And with
come
the
up with
and with the
something.
visionary only having 4 health, even getting 1 point through is pretty important.
Right. Now Tachyon's back up, and let's see how much health she's willing to burn to try and turn things back
Now
around.
Tachyon only has 4 movement, so
Right. But
the
she
light
could push
speed
the
barrage
limits.
is not ideal. But pushing the limits, I'd go for a pushing the limits right now.
It looks like she's got hypersonic assault in play.
If she doesn't kill him, then I got it.
We-
Yes, I did hypersonic
Oh,
assault.
hypersonic assault. Okay, cool. Okay, great. So you sprint over there. This is your first action.
First action there.
Oh, and we're just going to erase or
second
scrub
action,
those 2.
hypersonic
Okay.
assault,
Right.
release
Okay, up to there.
in that direction.
Now, when she
How?
sprinted over, she could have used.
Well, how did she get up there, though? Because she only has 4 movement, and
Oh, that's
she
true.
doesn't have
Hypersonic
mobility
assault
right
doesn't
now.
let her,
Actually, yes, she does, because the visionary is granting
Mass
mobility.
levitation, that's
So that's how that happened.
Yep. But yeah, now she missed out on the. She missed out on an attack. When she sprinted for her first action to get into position, she could have attacked
Yeah.
with her her basic ability that lets her attack anytime she sprints.
Yes.
Teamwork.
So, begin the eraser scrubbing.
Just my nimble strike because it's the only one I have.
Yep. But she'll get to hit both of them.
So this same attack goes against both.
3, a 4, and a 4.
So if she can get some damage through, she'll start wearing them down and she'll start reducing their damage output with the negative
You know,
attack tokens.
it doesn't require Tachyon to get closer to death, which at this point is kind of perilous.
Right.
And it makes them deal with attack -1 tokens and possible Unity going down. I think this is a really, really strong play.
Yeah, especially with Unity at 1 health. So because there's a hit right there.
One gets through it, you die. The unity is incapacitated.
All right, that's going
And
to take
that
Raptor
gets
Bot off
the other
board,
bots
too,
off the board.
which will get Absolute Zero out of a lot of danger.
The
Yeah.
bots don't blow up if she does. Bots only blow up if they do. That's very good.
And then
Right? And then Legacy there has to roll, or Beacon there, sorry, has to roll against
Oh, me. Right.
443 as well.
yeah, Beacon does in fact have to defend against the attack also.
Wow.
Down to
See,
1.
this is what I was talking about. If they can get a little bit of momentum back on their side, because now Beacon's 1 hit away from death.
Now, the hypersonic assault is,
All right, the other direction. That's fine. Zoom back.
so zoom, zoom, zoom. Just keep
Yep.
going.
And yeah, she moves her up to her full forward to get away from Beacon in case she doesn't secure the kill.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
She might take us both out. What
All right, so 2 3s. So
It's on 2s, is that right?
It misses on 2.
they
It's a
could,
nimble strike, so it misses on 2s.
she could get it through.
Oh, that blocked.
Now they blocked it.
Ah, well, but still, getting an in cap, getting on the board, Beacon at 1
Oh, yeah,
health,
almost 2 in caps right there.
that was an absolutely ideal play for Tachyon.
If Beacon doesn't destroy Tachyon before Tachyon gets another turn,
She's back up, and it's Legacy.
she's very low.
Yeah.
I think, and with Unity standing back up, they could possibly turn this around if they focus really hard right now
I totally agree.
You want something like
and keep Absolute Zero from getting wiped out. He might
Yeah,
even consider
that's-
taking the power that lets him heal, which
Honestly, what I would do as Legacy is maybe
So what's your move? 5?
either motivationally charge to try and help Beacon get a hit point, but honestly,
No, I think you just
I
go
would
with
I would
flank
flank smash.
Yeah, I think you need to try and gun down Absolute Zero right now, because if not, Absolute Zero can take his healing power and try and keep them in the game while Tachyon and the Visionary clean up.
This to me feels like a team that, like the Interns feel like a team that they've practiced. They have an idea of, like, they had a very solid plan going in.
Oh, definitely.
The Team Discovery channel, it feels like right now they have, like, a really good grasp on what's going on, and they have a plan, but I think it's a little bit too late.
Right. They've kind of put things together as they went. And it's starting to turn the corner, but the question is whether they can come back before the end of the game.
And I think that Absolute Zero sprinting away from the action, if Legacy doesn't kill him, Absolute Zero has no real good recourses here because he only has 2 movement. Even sprinting won't really get him in range.
Right, he can't contribute to actually coming back here. The best he can do is keep from losing the game. He can't actually contribute to winning the game at this point.
So, I mean, if he survives the Flying Smash, then maybe Legacy will be in range for him to do something fun. But
maybe.
We'll just have to see what happens.
Right, and it's Legacy's turn right now, so where's he going? All right, so that was move, and then we got
a Flying Smash.
At point blank range, so the range is no issue.
Make an area attack around myself.
Yep.
Misses on 1s and 6s.
What's the radius?
1.
Yep, and it misses on 1s and 6s.
5 dice. I assume I'm going to roll this one.
And Legacy has a few attack plus 1s in reserve.
Bunch of 1s and 6s.
So this is potentially survivable still by Absolute Zero.
Hold on.
Attack plus 1. Yep.
But she's rolling an extra dice.
4, 2, 3.
4-2-3, not that intimidating.
Not in any other situation, but when you have 2 health left and the game is on the line, it feels a lot more intimidating.
Honestly, if I were Absolute Zero, I'd consider letting one of those points through so you could do a max damage coolant blast.
Maybe.
It's scary, but.
Right, again, you have to look at not how can you keep from losing, but how can you come back and win. You have to aim down that road.
And I think a coolant blast is probably the best. It rolls a lot of dice. Just aim a coolant blast.
Yeah, and Legacy has taken a little bit of damage, so if he rolls poorly on defense, you could wipe him straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's comparing Coolant Blast to Cold Snap now.
10 dice attack. Yeah, that seems all right. All right, so you could even try to hit and then run away because of approaching 0.
Now you see that's hit and run away. That is not the kind of talk I like to hear because
without aiming, there's no way they're going to take down
also
Legacy.
with 2 movement. 2 movement is not running away so much as casually sauntering away and hoping that they don't notice you.
And even getting into the cover, Legacy can still just flying smash. You can aim a flying smash next turn.
Slinking away with tail tucked in shame. No, stand bold. Hit them hard. Keep going. You've got, if you put down Coolant Blast, you have 2 attacks. So either you Coolant Blast and then you Cold Snap, or you aim that Coolant Blast.
I think you
aim the Coolant Blast.
Oh, well, he
did, in fact, put down Coolant Blast.
I hope he didn't hear us as vehement as we were being, but we convinced him
I
whether he heard us or not.
I think that we've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they can't actually hear us because, wow, okay.
That's okay. They got a 6 and he aimed.
So he aimed.
1s aren't auto misses.
So hey.
He only removes a 3, and this is the most important aim I have ever seen.
So if Legacy doesn't roll at least 1-6, Legacy's going to go down.
And then they're 1 health away from bringing this back.
I know. This is really exciting.
Come on.
Just carefully moving the 6s over.
Uh-oh.
One of them went out. She needs a 6 here.
But no!
So,
wow.
2-2.
Okay, that is beautiful. That is just a fantastic thing to see.
All right. Now, we've got Unity's turn coming up next. And Unity can easily get to Tachyon, but can't really do anything to Absolute Zero from where she's at. And then after Unity, the Visionary gets a chance to take a shot at Beacon.
Well, I didn't have anywhere to go anyway. All right, so Unity... Unity's got some...
My apologies. They just said there's 6 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Oh, gosh.
They missed the 10-minute mark. We're very close to the end.
So we are almost at time at the end of the round, but
So-
I have a feeling that this isn't going to go
But
to time.
this isn't going to go to time. This is going to go to someone getting an in cap, and this is beautiful.
All right, so he's bringing out Swiftbot. Now, can Swiftbot get to Absolute Zero this turn?
All right, 3.
I wouldn't even go. I'd go with the Visionary.
What are you going to do with your actions? You got 3.
Well, Visionary has twice as much health left as Absolute Zero.
Yeah.
Go this way, right? 1,
I would
4, 5,
move her.
right?
Okay.
And then aim and then
Aim and then hit.
All right.
Now, he could have taken a more direct... I guess he didn't need to take a more direct route
Because
it's the
those
same
3
number of
actions. So
actions
yeah,
either way.
aim and then go. And if you don't get this,
Then the Visionary gets a chance to shoot a beacon.
And with only 1 health.
You can?
Yep. If you want.
Okay. Hold on. So let's think about
Now
it.
the question is which is better.
Yeah, is it better to...
So I like that idea. You know, we've moved the bots, aim, and then go.
So are they discussing possibly instead of aiming, attacking twice? Because I didn't believe you could do that.
You can't do that.
Okay, I must have misheard what they were talking about. And there's clearly an aim token on the board, so.
I feel like you need to aim.
Oh, we have to go.
We need to kill
I think they're discussing who would win if the timer ran out as an
Yeah,
element
but
of their
that's-
strategy. But
That's a terrible idea because that's not exciting and interesting.
no, and we never want the team to win because they intentionally played slow.
No, we want a team to win because they did daring, wonderful things.
She's
Oh.
aiming on 3 6s. Absolute
All
Zero
right,
needs
Absolute Zero needs to
2
roll the
6s.
best roll he's ever done.
Fingers crossed for him. He needs 2 6s to survive.
And he gets a
He's
5.
rolling 1 die at a time for tension.
And he gets a
Nice.
5. Oh!
He is down.
And that's the Quantum Interns.
Yes, congratulations.
Beautifully
to
done.
them.
Beautifully done.
It was neck and neck there at the end. They really made a game of it. But
I am so happy to see that because in the beginning it looked like the others would come in and just stomp them, and they were doing such a great job of it. And then
Right. Team Discovery Channel.
they just came back so well from that, and it's all risky plays, aggressive plays.
Well, they
and
did what they had to do to have a chance, and they got to
Absolutely.
within 1
And
health of closing it out on the
that's
comeback.
that's the kind of thing I love to see with this game is where everything looks like it's completely in control by one team, and then the other team just says, "We got this."
And see, this was when I was talking about how they could afford to play conservatively. I think I was wrong, honestly, because you saw them playing conservatively led to the other team almost coming back. Team Discovery Channel got to within 1 health point. Of
This is
winning
why
from being down
this is
2
why
to
though
nothing.
I always say like you can't ever give up the momentum when you have it because even if you're at 1 hit point, you have to just try your hardest to do something incredible
Right.
with that last hit point.
Yeah.
And running and hiding in the forest or trying to get out of the line of fire, I never think that that's worth it.
I can't say it's always incorrect because I can imagine scenarios where this is the best play. But you're right. Probably 90% of the time, running and hiding is only going to slow your defeat. It's not going to accelerate your victory.
Unless you have a specific plan involving running and hiding.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and there are characters that can pull that off. But
Oh, sure. You're not going to run Unity up there and try an arcing shock with 1 health left.
if you can pull that off,
Well,
if
maybe
you have a
you do.
plan involving that, I'm okay with that.
But I'm not going to judge somebody who doesn't run Unity out in the middle either. I was hoping because she
Granted.
never moved off her starting space in this game, which is what you see a lot. Is Unity hangs out in the back unless somebody threatens her specifically.
But still, that was a fantastic game.
Oh, it was amazing.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more of them later on. We're going to be having another game fairly shortly, so stay tuned.